Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sapna Dadwal. I'm working as a professor in the Department of Management at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. This is lecture number 10 of Consumer Protection. This subject is taught in BBA curriculum of MDU course. In our earlier lecture, I've already told you about the monopolistic practices and about the introduction of MRTP Act, objectives of MRTP Act, and about regulations of monopoly trade practices, features of monopolistic trade practices, and gave you a bit introduction about the restrictive trade practices also. The topic I'm going to cover in this lecture, that is like lecture number 2, unit 3 of the first topic, restrictive trade practices. I'm going to tell you meaning, types of restrictive trade practices as per the Act, MRTP Act, as per the MRTP Act. Then going to discuss regulation of restrictive trade practices, what are the regulations regarding restrictive trade practices. Then third objective, unfair trade practices. I'm going to discuss meaning and regulation of unfair trade practices. We have already discussed that MRTP Act has 3 objectives. First is monopolistic restrictive trade practices, second one is restrictive trade practices, and third one is unfair trade practices. In this lecture, I'm going to discuss 2 objectives. First, I've already discussed in lecture 9. So in lecture 10, I'm going to discuss second objective and third objective and their regulations, their types. Now I'm starting with first, that is restrictive trade practices. As I already have informed you that this is the second objective of MRTP Act. It is to prohibit restrictive trade practices. This is to ensure free and fair competition in the market for the benefit of ultimate consumer. As we know, in order to maximize profit and gain from market or increase the market share, the traders or the businessmen or the organization often indulge in some trade practices which restrict, reduce or prevent competition in the market. So such practices harm the consumer interest and are referred as restrictive trade practices. So because of these adverse effects on the consumers and public interest, they must be controlled in almost every country of the world. These are controlled by different acts or different legislation has been passed to control these activities in different countries. In India, to control these, MRTP Act is enacted. Broadly speaking, trade practices which restrict or reduce competition may be termed as restrictive trade practices. So under section 2 of the MRTP Act, it has been defined as under, or the definition of the restrictive trade practices is given in under section 2 or in section 2. It says a restrictive trade practices means a trade practice which has or may have effect of preventing, distorting or restricting competition in any manner as in particular. Second is, it says which disrupts the flow of capital or resources into the line of production. Or third one is which brings about the manipulation of prices or condition of delivery or to affect the flow of supplies in the market relating to goods or services in such a manner as to impose on the consumer unjustified cost or restrictions. So it is very clear from this. The term trade and trade practices may be stated. It means that terms trade and trade practices are quite wide actually. The term trade is understood to include any trade, business, industry, profession, or occupation relating to the production or supply, distribution of goods and services, or any provision of the services. So trade practices is understood in any practice relating to carry on any trade in which include anything done by any person which controls or affect the price charged by or on the method of trading of any trade or any class of traders. Second is a single isolation action of any person in relation to any trade. So thus, it is very clear from this definition that restrictive trade practice is not limited to trade only. It would cover practice followed in the production, distribution, or supply of goods, or in the provision of services too. A restrictive trade practices can be adopted by a manufacturer, it can be adopted by a distributor, it can be adopted by a dealer, supplier of goods, or by one who provides any service or carries on any profession of occupation. So here doesn't mean only manufacturer, it doesn't mean only traders, here means manufacturer, distributor, dealer, supplier, all these persons, if they indulge into restrictive trade practices which are described in Act, are covered under this Act. Now, the following are the restrictive trade practices as per described in Section 33I of the MRTP Act. The first one is refusal to deal with persons or classes of persons. So any agreement which restrict or is likely to restrict by any method the person or classes of person to whom goods are sold or from whom goods are bought is called as restrictive trade practice. Then second is tie in sales or full line forcing. It means any agreement requiring the purchaser of good as a condition of such purchase to purchase some other goods. So such type is also called as, comes under the restrictive trade practices. Then third one is exclusive dealing agreements. So in any agreement restricting in any manner the purchaser in the course of his trade from acquiring or otherwise dealing in goods other than those of the seller is also called as restrictive trade practices. So you cannot restrict people from to buy goods from you only. Then collective price fixation and tendering. Any agreement to purchase or sell goods or take out tenders for the sale or purchase of goods only at prices or terms and condition agreed upon between the seller or purchasers. This is also a restrictive trade practice which comes under, which is prohibited by the MRTP Act. Then discriminatory dealings also, any agreement to grant or allow concession or benefit including allowance or discount, rebate or credit in connection with or by reason of dealings. So discriminatory dealings also comes under restrictive trade practices. Then comes resale price maintenance. Any agreement to sell goods on condition that prices to be charged on resale by the purchaser shall be the prices stipulated by the seller unless it is clearly stated that price lower than those prices may be charged. So resale price maintenance, again a restrictive trade practice. You cannot force people to purchase on the basis of these resale dealings. Then comes restriction on output or supply of goods. So exclusive distribution, territorial restriction and market sharing, These kind of agreements are also again comes under restrictive trade practices. Then control of manufacturing process. Yes, if you are controlling manufacturing process, you're not going as per the manufacturing as the in the continuous or as your business is allowing. If you are controlling it to have maximum gain or with the view to increase prices, then it comes under restrictive trade practices. Then boycott from trade association and its rules is also a comes under restrictive trade practices. Then price control arrangement. If you are doing such arrangement or doing such agreements so that price can be controlled, you can charge prices from the consumer as per your requirements. So as per your desire, then it is also restrictive trade practices. Then government recognition or practice as restrictive. Government recognition or practice as restrictive is then residual restrictive trade practices. Any agreement to enforce the carrying out of any such agreement is referred to the foregoing classes is called as residual resistance trade practices. So these are the practices we have discussed 12 as per MRTP Act. There are 12 practices which comes under, broadly 12 practices which comes under restrictive trade practices. So under the Act, above discussed trade practices are described as MRTP Act as restrictive trade practices. Now regulation of restrictive trade practices. The MRTP Commission is empowered under Section 37 of the Act to conduct an inquiry into the restrictive trade practices. If after the inquiry the Commission is of the opinion that the practice is really restrictive and is of prejudicial to public interest, it may by order direct that the practice shall be discontinued or shall not be repeated. This is called a cease and desist order. Then second, the agreement shall be void. The shall stand modified in such manner as may be prescribed in the order by the Commission. Now comes third objective of the MRTP Act, that is unfair trade practices. It is said that consumer need no special protection. It is said that consumer need no special protection and before the amendment, the MRTP Act contained no provision for the protection of consumer from unfair trade practices, such as deceptive and misleading advertisement, hoarding of goods, and supply of unsafe and hazardous goods. So, unfair trade practice was included after the MRTP amendment. Now, the Act was directly against restrictive and monopolistic trade practices, and consumer interest was sought to be protected by promoting competition before the amendment. But after the amendment, this was added in the objectives of the Act that the consumer need protection against monopolistic and restrictive trade practices, but also they need protection against the unfair trade practices as well. So now I'm starting with concept of unfair trade practices. As per MRTP Act, unfair trade practices refers to any of the 5 practices specified in the clause 1 to 5 of the section 36A. These practices are misleading advertisement and false representation, advertising of bargain prices and switch selling, offering of gifts or prizes and conducting promotional contests, lottery or games of chance or skills, supply of unsafe or hazardous goods, hoarding or destroying of goods, refusal to sell goods, resulting into increase in prices of the goods. So these five were included as unfair trade practices in the MRTP Act after the amendment. That is, this amendment was made in 1984. I have already cleared before the amendment of 1984, the unfair trade practices were not a part of MRTP Act. But after the amendment of 1984, this becomes the unfair trade practices became the third objective of unfair MRTP Act. Now, the regulation of unfair trade practices. The MRTP Commission may inquire into any unfair trade practices upon receiving a complaint from any trade or customer association with membership of 25 or more, upon application made to it by Director General, or upon a reference made to it by the central or state government, or upon an application made to it by the Director General, or with later amendment is the MRTP Act upon application any member of the public, then upon its own knowledge or information. So if the inquiry proves that the unfair trade practice does exist and it is prejudicial to the public interest, the Commission may direct the practice shall be discontinued or shall not be repeated. Second is, any agreement related to such unfair trade practice shall be void or shall stand modified in such a manner as may be directed by the Commission. So these are the questions which are related to the above topics we have discussed in this. If any mistake is there, please ignore that mistake. If any writing mistake is there, please ignore that mistake. If any query is there, please do contact me.